Rio Vista, there were two railroads, well, there still are two railroads through San Marcos, Missouri Pacific, and Missouri, Kansas, and Texas, and one of them runs right where Rio Vista begins, and the kids are not supposed to do it, but they've always jumped off of that high bridge into the river. And then there was the trolley there, and that was Paul Rogers' invention, and it was a remarkable success. Grab onto those bars and slide down that cable, and oh, it was fun. And the little tower that I thought it was 100 feet high, and I think it was 25 feet, and we'd jump off of that sometimes. But he had a bathhouse there. Not only could you pay the minimum fee, I mean a nominal fee to swim there, but you could also rent a bathing suit if you didn't have one. And you had a bathhouse there to change clothes, and he had a little cafe where they made an excellent chocolate cake with a special icing on it, and they sold hamburgers. And so Paul, being the entrepreneur that he was, everything you did, there was a way that he could make money off of it. Not unreasonable, but a way that he could make money. And I think I told you about cutting myself on that diving board, and Paul Rogers carried me up that hill, and no way he could do that, but he did. But he had a gold mine there and that little dam down there. And when you don't have air conditioning, but you've got a river that's 71 degrees, that's where you go, old and young alike. And he had the best part of the river in terms of a place to swim and a place to have fun. And it went from that railroad bridge all the way down to the dam. And from there on, it was a public river from there on down. But you could do pretty well what you wanted to do, and it was just our headquarters. It was the capital of the world.
We couldn't wait to get down there and jump in when we had walked from Burleson Street down to Rio Vista. So the first thing we did was just drop our towels and jump in the river. It was just wonderful, so refreshing. It didn't feel cold at all. But the longer you stayed in the river, and we stayed in it, you know, for 2 or 3 hours, then we got cold and wanted to get out. It was just one of the things that, after being in 72-degree water for a couple of hours, and the sun would get behind the trees, and it would not be so hot, you wanted to get out of the river and wrap up somewhere.
At probably age 3, when my mother would take me down with a watermelon from Murray's fruit stand, and I would float around on that watermelon and learned how to swim there with Mother in the river right below the waterfalls that everybody knows about. I guess you could call me a river rat, because every waking moment of my life, when I wasn't in school or employed some way, I was on the San Marcos River. And I know it probably as well as most people do, from where it starts to where it ends. And it's just been a big part of my life. And that river was, well, it was the center of my universe for a long, long time. And our family still goes back there now every chance we get, and they have the same feeling for the river that I did. The river that I knew back as a boy is still there and thriving.